absolutely shattered. And now we head to the realms of Dust to a G2 pick, but one that Astralis are not unfamiliar with. More than experienced yesterday in their OT bonanza, and so let's see if they are cut out for the job. They certainly weren't on Nuke. G2 with a T-side start, bit of utility. Astralis have their nades on Glaive, and it's very spread out for G2. They've got long, they've got lower, they've got T-spawn, but Bubsky wants to take it all away.
Bubsky's mid peek is interesting. Oh, it was being held from outside the long doors, and now they hound down this kill from lower. Bubsky dead in the water, and Hunter, taking more out of the ranks of Astralis. What? This pistol round is cancelled. It's over. Hunter's put it all to rest already. It's just Magisk left. He's lost the A-bomb site, and he's left in a 1v4. I think the rather grim reality that this round was decided at about the, minute 20-second mark has just set in.
Yeah, that's not a normal fight that you take. When you peek mid-door with a Glock and you see two CTs with USPs, you don't fight that. You're not meant to fight that, and you're certainly not meant to get away with a 3K. Hunter, that's obscene.
You're not meant to do this, Hunter. You know you're not meant to do that. Look at it. Magisk gonna try and just brute force his way through the short smoke, but yeah, I think that was optimistic at best. They hound down Magisk, and the pistol round goes the way of G2, keeping up that winning streak from the previous map.
Yeah, and now just the chance to build upon it as well. The worry for me is, Harry, if you think about that first map, Astralis, they went 2-0 up, man. They were looking good. They won the pistol, they converted, and then they got swept, right? 12 rounds in a row going against them until they closed the half with 3. Well, now G2 have taken the pistol. So what does that mean for Astralis? If this Force goes nowhere, they're going to be left in the dirt. AK's out. This is not a, a simple buy for G2. They're putting everything in. They know this Force is coming. They want to beat them at the range game. Zip does get a tag on long, but he's out of there. Nice shot from Glaive down middle. What we needed here for Astralis for them to find this upset win.
I tell you what, right? We spoke about Amanek and his AWP a lot back on Nuke. It was so suffocating. We never got to see Glaive donning one because that CT side was so short and so cash restricted.
Yeah.
Really, it was never in play.
Yeah, dupreeh had it a couple of rounds really, but didn't make a huge amount of difference. And again, it was up against 14, 15 rounds, so we never saw Astralis do anything more than warm up.
Right, exactly. It was like we got a little glimpse, and it's like, oh, that's it.
Yeah,
there was just no room left to play with.
On this map yesterday, well, we saw a Glaive dupreeh run it. We saw Zip have that crazy round on A-Long as well. The AWPing definitely looked better, right? And Glaive seemed to find a lot of ways to make it work. So maybe that can happen today. Here he is on long, double scout for Astralis, and they know what's coming. They've got this flank. Yeah, because of dupreeh wrapping in through T-spawn, everyone is stacked in this A-bomb site for the Danes. So getting past it might be easier said than done. Magisk Steagle brings it back in to now a 1v3. Nexa, this was meant to be a G2 round. The long wrap is still coming in, and it should blindside him. He's dodged it for the time being, but will he be aware as he backs up? It's into the crosshair of dupreeh, and a team ace for Astralis. They waste no time in stealing a round back. Yeah, those scouts are immense as well. They do so much damage. You see all those D kills come in on cross, but they're all body shots, man. It's because Glaive lit them up early with a scout, not only on long, but also in T-spawn where he hit Niko jumping. So Glaive the assist king and Astralis with the Deegs. Get it done, and now they can start believing again. Flipping this script early into the second map has put G2 on pistols, and so now Astralis are more than ready to start running away with the game. Glaive is a glass AWP up against pistols. That's ballsy, I've got to say it. Pulling the AWP in this early anyway is always a risk when you know there's still Deegs in play, there are pistols running at you. These rounds can get out of control very quickly, but to run it with no armor, whew, Glaive's got to be feeling it. Yeah, and now with the scout tag factoring in as well, he's really soft to a lot of these pistols. So Glaive's got to be flawless in his approach to this round. He's secured the opener for Astralis. They know about that AWP now. But it hasn't deterred them from getting up the catwalk. They will start to drop back down into mid. I don't imagine they commit into the AWP, right? I imagine that is like a big, stop sign almost. Big info. They are going to start to rotate into lower, but the bomb's still up here on Cat. So where is this looking to end up for G2? Yeah, they got spotted by dupreeh jumping over smoke, so he has a bit of an inkling as to this ending B. And I think that's actually changed G2's decision in this round. It looked like they just wanted to full group, as you said, and now they're just hanging around middle. Enough util to really do what they want right now. They could fake A, they could go back, they could mid to B. And that seems to be the play, next to with the mid to B smoke and a flash to follow, perhaps. Astralis will meet them in the middle. Not only is it Magisk peeking out from the window, pushed off as a G2 start to close the gap. bubzkji smoked off, the Deeks need to connect, and Magisk is not allowing that to happen. 2 kills off the rifle, time is ticking, and it's not doing G2 any favors. amanek is a couple of shots from death, and he wants that death to be soon and swift. Astralis is stalling. After time, they try, and they will succeed. dupreeh, last second flick back, no money, no round, no kills. amanek's broke.
Beautiful. I love that. That's what Astralis do there, right? We've actually had moments like this happen with Astralis in the server, in the group stages, and they just took the kills when they were available. That time there, they go, nah, man, we're going to wait. We're going to let that clock run out. We're going to really punish this G2 money. And this has set up Astralis quite nicely to get off to a good start here on Dust 2. This first buy round for G2 is going to come with some serious limitations on amanek because of what you've just done to the poor bloke's bank account.
Yeah, so no more free rounds than this. A full Glock eco on T-side Dust 2. dupreeh knows that, and he wants to get in the forefront with this SMG. Nice stuff from glaive again, just hitting his shots that he needs to up top mid. Zips drop the bomb, and one by one G2 start to falter. dupreeh even hunting kills, and that's a perfect round for Astralis. Nothing going wrong there. But this is where the problems can begin. G2 coming in with a rifle round. It's been very back and forth ever since we saw that second round force from Astralis. And G2 want to get their swift vengeance.
To give you an idea of how much it hurts you dying after time like that, though, look at amanek's buy here. That's a glass scout. You're seeing that, right? Doesn't have armor behind it even. So he's having to just try to do chip damage in this round, soften players up for his rifling counterparts. We saw glaive do that to win Astralis the little force spike.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't go for a Mach 10 or something, but, you know, range is a key. It's got a bit of util at least to get something done here. Flash over middle on glaive. He's not going to be able to get into the action. I think he saw someone cross up above that smoke, but by and large, the hidden smoke provides safe passage into catwalk for G2. amanek, he wants to fight this back. Oh, this is a weird timing. If Astralis take the halls and push up, G2 is setting up for a mid to be. It's only the boost up. dupreeh going up silently. If you jump off the car, you can make noise, and he doesn't want anyone close in the tunnels to hear that. Here's that mid to be fake. It's Hunter with the doors on the left-hand side of middle. Those 2 smokes providing him a bit of room to find his opening kill. If he can take down the AWP and sell the fake, that's massive, but instead he's just going to double back as now the A attack comes in.
Oh yeah, Jack's dropping into CT, and is that first point of contact onto bubzkji. Magisk has now got to worry about 2 positions at once, so he's calling for support from Zip at long, but he's cancelled out right away. There's still these 2 players lost to the kind of looking for the lurk kills, and they will spot the players in B who are just saving here. G2 not able to strip the guns out the ranks of Astralis, but regardless, it's still this second round locked in.
Yeah, I love that call for G2. It's certainly not original. We've seen that before, but it's a really nice way to just fake out Astralis super hard. It makes them commit to the double B. Hunter gets out mid. He doesn't even get a kill. He doesn't even get damage, but his presence alone gets spotted by glaive, and then that just causes commotion. Astralis double back into B. They play really safe, and then that gives G2 that 4-on-3 in the A bomb site. Meanwhile, Hunter gets out alive and is able to go late into the B tunnels. He doesn't kill dupreeh, so an AK is gifted over, but it's still a nice idea, and G2 get around on the board. First rifle under wraps. And it was all thanks to Jax getting those entries, him and niko. So here we go. Astralis at least save their guns. They can continue to invest. They are not too worried yet. Does Hunter have a weapon?
Yeah, there's an AK in spawn. I don't know how he doesn't have it, but he's gone back for it. It's all fine. now he's going to set himself up towards B, along with cousin niko. And leaning towards this side of the map early. Once again, you know, G2 leaning into a pretty default-heavy T side, right? Just kind of spreading out, holding this map control, making sure they're not getting egressed on in the tunnels at long doors. They're denying a lot of information to Astralis early on as a result. And then we're just going to see them settle back into this catwalk play. Do bear in mind that Hunter is still in the tunnels, right? Trying to sell this B-lurk, trying to create space. And he's very, very good at this, is Hunter.
Oh, my.
As he's crept out, Bobski hits the timing. So Hunter will get caught checking the wrong angle. Now these players in A get made aware of the site take. It's very dry, all things considered. You are just swinging out into Zip's Famous. Now the smokes come in. Yeah, it feels like you kind of missed the mark on that one there. The smokes not serving their purpose, and just Amanek left alive in the 1-on-3. Surrounded by Astralis, he's going to go back through catwalk. There is a path into this B site open. He doesn't know about that, but will he look to make the play based on feeling?
Yeah, he stepped there, so a player right below him definitely would have heard. That's going to be calmed over. They know he's trying to consider going back, and dropping would make noise. Does Amanek want to commit, or does he want to save? Always an option here on the T side. Does have a little bit of money to fall back on, but out he goes. 15 seconds. He's got to get this kill immediately. There's more than one player facing. Good flash. And Amanek, I mean, it's time to get out of here, buddy. Bobski's close right. He's going to read it. Amanek's got two, but he can't plant the bomb. And so dupreeh living is all Astralis needed. Very nice try for Amanek. Gives it a go. But it's still an Astralis round at the end of the day.
Pretty huge little detail there, though, is he grabs that bomb plant in at the last few seconds, and so now could drop an AK into play. You could even look to force up here and have 4 rifles on the G2 side.
All right.
I'm curious what the decision's going to be, and this wouldn't have even been an option if Amanek didn't get those couple of kills on the exit with the bomb plant money on top.
It's a nice little bonus, isn't it? G2 calling attack pause. I don't think you're alone, Harry. I think they are also trying to figure out that one. And what they want to do with it, most importantly, is you said those smokes came down very late on the A site. It's the equivalent to when we see teams, you know, go long and they go quiet, and then they late cross without smokes. They just take those fights into CT. That's because they think the CTs don't know they're there. And that was the plan for G2. Hunter walked through B. He's causing distraction. He's trying to get Astralis to rotate, and then they contact the A play. So you're hoping to catch Astralis rotating, and they almost did. There were players moving into CT, but Astralis reacted very quickly and were able to stop them. So yeah, the fake doesn't work, but we're seeing what G2 are trying to do right now. A lot of fakes from Hunter, a lot of lurks from Hunter, while the rest of the team group up and hit a bomb site together.
We're 7 rounds in, and Amanek so far has primarily used the scout.
Yeah.
He's still donning it forward into this round now. And I kind of like it in these like full rifle rounds, right? He's always just able to get a bit of chip damage, even on these players crossing. You know, everything is worth it in the long run in this game. You know, a matter of taking a 50 HP on a player crossing can make the difference in terms of winning a round or not.
Oh.
Bobski, however, shows us another way to win rounds, which is just to line them up and knock them down on the short side. The bomb is dropped in front of all this utility as well, so it's going to be a bit of a mess to try and retrieve. Amanek is the guy tasked with this horrible job on the short side of getting that bomb back, and the rest of his team are getting turned to mincemeat over at long. This round, bit of a disaster for G2. The short play denied. The long wrap might find these openers to create some space, but once again, that bomb is cut loose on the catwalk for Hunter.
Okay.
He needs the ace. 1v3. Oh my word. Can he do it? Back into T-spawn. The bomb is still on short, and he's just too far away to get it back.
I mean, there's a world, Harry. He's coming from lower. He could maybe jump up and go back. No, he's walking. It's over.
With the walk, I don't think he can.
I was going to say, they're not playing the bomb. He would definitely imagine that they're playing the bomb right now, so that's why he's walking. If they weren't, he definitely had a chance to make that happen. But, you know, Astralis just reading it, playing together, and they've won the round off of time alone. That's another one for Astralis. They're really building into this. It did feel like near the end of that CT nuke side, you know, right before the game ended, we saw a couple of gun rounds for Astralis. We started to see clean gun rounds, and they looked like normal. They looked like how they didn't look in their T half. So you know, maybe a little more warmed back in, maybe some motivating words said by Zonic coming into the second map, because this certainly doesn't feel like Nuke anymore. Far more level game. G2 are getting handed out heads or haircuts, headshots, whatever you want to call them. It's 5-2. G2 are broke. They are using their second timeout. And so many of these rounds is coming down to players saving when they really don't want to. All that does is skew if the money, and you'd much rather it be level so everyone can buy together.
Huge double kill to open up that round from Bubsky, man. Like a nuts little transfer to find it, just spraying, and they almost line up for him. Like they were asking to get collateraled on the spray. And that was also the kill that dropped the bomb. And really that was the thing that stopped Hunter even attempting that go in the clutch. Once more, pretty aggressive purchasing decision here from G2. A hero AK in play. You know, you're at least banking up loss bonus at this point in the game, so you are still looking to invest next. You've got Hunter, who, as we've seen, can do damage with just this one rifle in the round. And they might ease back into a long play. Zip has been good at holding down this side of the map. He's been someone to keep an eye on for Astralis at this event.
Yeah, if Hunter wants to find value, he needs to be dropping guns for his teammate. He needs to be getting these openers and not in no man's land either. Glaive on the corner, but he gets out. The flash is good, and Glaive wants nothing to do with it. Back to the site. Jack's now scoped up. Astralis can flash these corners, though. That can make things very uncomfortable for G2. They won't commit with the long control. They take it, and they rotate out. This is a good round to do this. As said, no smokes, no real weapons either beside that AK. But Astralis is going to see this coming.
Yeah, you've at least made them paranoid and lean heavily towards the A site. If you're able to get past Dupree, you might be onto something, but it's easier said than done. Dupree annihilates G2 in the double doors, and now just niko left. 1v5 with the Deagle, and Zip is there to see it through to the very end. Astralis get a flawless round. They don't fall for the fake long control. And a much better game out of guys like Dupree, who it felt like started to find his footing, as you say, right at the end of Nuke. Just far too late in the game. We started to get a few rounds out of him, namely on the AWP. Well, here, it's the rifles doing the damage for Dup.
Whatever it takes, man. You know, if you're getting it done, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And Astralis are certainly looking better. G2 calling a tech as well. Already ready back up, though, so we will be running it right into another rifle round here for G2. I feel like money really has come down to be the problem in so many of these rounds, but this is, again, going to be their best buy yet in round number 9. Weird times, but here's the AWP for Amanek. Hunter's still on a Galil, of course, but everyone else is armed, and I presume dangerous. We'll have to see. Bubsky's AWPing, Harry. Dupree wants to keep that rifle for now in the mid doors. And again, a tag for Amanek. He has hit this almost every single round. He's had a sniper, and now at least it's on the AWP. Even more damage to Magisk. Bubsky's actually handed the AWP back to Dupree, so it was only temporary. Or to Glaive, rather, up on the catwalk. Bubsky instead taking middle. Up a flash. Hunter holding, and Dupree gets away with a kill. The flash did not blind Hunter in the slightest, but he couldn't get away with the spray. Galil letting him down. And Astralis, what a way to start strong.
Yeah, big kill to have found as well. Hunter has really been the only guy that we've spoken about in positive tones for G2 thus far. So now we look at the rest of the gang. You know, everyone was pulling their weight back on that previous map. Now we ask ourselves, can any of these familiar faces emerge as the heroes we know they can be? Bit of cat control taken by Jax, but it is looking like this is destined to be the B play. Double hold here for Astralis, right? Dupree and Magis towards this side of the map. Amanek throwing a exec utility along with Jax, really trying to sell this illusion that it's coming down to the cat exec again. But Astralis haven't fallen for it. They don't need to. The fact that they're in a 5-on-4, they haven't seen or heard anything at A, they're really suspicious that this is a B play, and they would be right in that assumption. 15 seconds, you've got to go, G2. You've got to get a move on. They've got to get into this site, and the kills have got to be flawless. There's one, but that is the extent of it. The round is gone for G2. There was never a way that was winnable, with the push coming in at the 10-second mark and the bomb on the back of Amanek all the way at the back of tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, it's Astralis, you know, making that so problematic, right? The saving the util to the final 30 seconds of the round. Really nice stuff. They're able to smoke off B at 20 seconds. G2, they wait it out, but really, I think their only hope was going through that smoke. The fear is that someone's, you know, right in front of it holding it, of course. And in fact, there were 2 players ready and waiting. There was no easy way into that B bomb site for G2, but pushing with under 10 seconds on the clock certainly wasn't the answer. But you don't want to be saving, man. You've done that enough on this T side. It feels like G2 just can't catch a break. These early defaults that were netting them rounds, and only a couple. Maybe it's time to switch up the pace, take some long spawns, and start, you know, playing with the minds of Astralis. Are you rotating out? Are you staying there? Haven't really seen G2 try to do all too much on long early in the round. And they don't really have great spawns for it in this gun round either. Jax is there, that's it. And he's not taking it. So G2, what's the plan? Couple of guns and that's it.
Yeah, once again, a lot of attention to the tunnels early, holding this default outside of long to deny the aggression. More of the same from G2. This time a boost in a hope to catch an aggressing catwalk player, but gla1ve is playing the AWP drop-down spot, as we can see there. Amanek, I tell you what, mate, there is Zip is looking like a little interested in what's going on in these long doors. You can't wait forever for Zip to give you that peek. The rest of G2 have got an up cap. Amanek's wrapping all the way back through T-spawn into lower tunnels. I'm wondering, is he going to try and rejoin the rest of the gang up here on short? Because they're already going. They're already spilling out into A. Amanek's not really a part of this. Instead, we're looking at the Deagles to try and deliver these openers. Amanek is dead on B with the AWP. He tries to catch players as they rotate off the B site, but ends up giving a 4-on-4 over.
Yeah.
He has at least bought a bit more time, right? These players from B are now slightly slower at getting in position to retake the site. Are these few seconds going to make enough of a difference, though? That's the question. In comes Astralis. Peeking from the catwalk is niko. They're already under him, and Magisk is going to remove the point man from G2's arsenal. Jax trying to hold on with the AK, only good for one. Nexa, there's so many flooding up through the ramp. And Astralis overwhelmed G2 with just enough time to grab that defuse as well. 8-2. And if I'm being honest, you know, there were a few blunders made in a round like that there. It felt like, you know, very, very keen to face at CT. I kind of, you know, you can kind of understand it. You don't want to get whittled down by util. You want to try and make Astralis panicky, make them worried. But when you combine that with the fact that you lose Amanek at the B site, it's a 4-on-4 anyway. That first kill throws the advantage away and gives up that CT control to Astralis. It all just started to spiral wildly out of control.
Yeah, it's also just not having anyone playing the bomb on Cat, right? Like, Jax is in the site with the AK. He's anchoring, essentially. He's trying to get a multi-kill. But I would have loved to see even one player, one Deeg.
Yeah, just to try and play around.
That bomb was close, man. That was less than 5 seconds left on it after the defuse came in. I think if you have one player playing the time, maybe that's a round for G2, but they seem to all want to get involved, all want to be trading Jax. You know, there's merit there as well, but it doesn't win them the round, does it? gla1ve up on catwalk, he's committed, but he's at least got something for his spot. Jax is dead, the flash forward, and we're seeing a lot more confidence out of Astralis. Aggressive moves and great shots from gla1ve on this AWP. Back in the right hands, it seems. 2 kills on Cat. Amanek going to try and trade, but gla1ve has already disappeared. And this is, again, something that we saw yesterday in that quarterfinal when Astralis were having problems on the CT side, especially Overpass and even Dust 2. They would throw in aggressive rounds. They would be taking those B hauls or flashing Cat plays or putting numbers on long. And these are solutions right now. G2 just don't have any answers. Trying to recommit back into this A site. 2 players holding the cross. It's a good molly, but glaive is peeking up in front, and he's just got open lines of sight. They're hiding in the smoke. He won't make that mistake. He waits for them to come to him.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost the collateral, but instead, you know, it's still a nice clean round out of Astralis. 4 staying alive, up onto 9. Honestly, G2 are kind of feeling like a different team as well to what we got to see back on Nuke. I've been, you know, the kind of strats that we've had out of them have felt pretty uninspired. And I think a lot of that is coming off the back that it feels like so often these rounds are starting a man down. You're very limited in terms of what you can do, taking map control, throwing in fakes, when you're always playing these rounds in a 4-on-5. Back on Nuke, Amanek was the guy winning out in almost every category, right? Best AWP kills, best opening duels. He was unstoppable. While here, we've been looking at the AWP on the other side. Guys like glaive have been good at finding and creating these opportunities for Astralis. I haven't even really had to say Amanek's name yet. Once again, it's another cat play. We've seen so many of these. This time, it's a lot faster, and so glaive is blindsided by the deagles. The flashes are good, and here are the pistols raining in with kills. Bobski and Magisk are suddenly thrown into a 2-on-4, a situation they never planned to be in. And so they're hounded down, they're cancelled out, and Magisk is forced into a save he doesn't want to commit to. G2, they steal one away with the, oh, hang on a moment. Well, now he's going for it. Now he's interested again.
Yeah, why not? The time's good. You got a kit, flash smoke over the top.
Oh,
Here he comes. They should be able to trade this kill, but let's see how the snipers do. Magisk, he's not considering it as he's going back, looking for a second for a frag, and there's some damage to niko, but no kill getting given up, and the time is ticked past its natural course. niko closing the round, and a big 3K from him on a round that G2 should not be winning. I was going to say a broke round. It feels like all of these rounds are broke rounds for G2, stuck in the middle of saves, of rifles along pistols, of snipers with no armor. They've finally broken through Astralis' defense, though. 1 round. And it's quite the flip side of Nuke, right? It was G2 just controlling that CT side. Now Astralis are getting, you know, a little bit of time to party as well. Can G2 close the gap at the end of the half? That would at least make this map winnable. Right now, it doesn't feel as such.
Yeah, even though there is this like 9-3 scoreline, which when you look at it, that's real ugly, there is a path to redemption here for G2, right? You're really only like 1 rifle round away from breaking the bank accounts of Astralis. And so that is how these scorelines where things are looking really, really comfortable, you feel assured that Astralis are going to have a strong finish to the half. Well, this is how come these often turn around, right? Is all it takes is your money to get broken. Suddenly you're having to throw in a couple of ecos before the end of the half, and G2 can close this gap. So, you know, there's still a window of opportunity here. It's all about capitalizing on that 1 round you were just able to get with the deagles.
Yeah, one of the first times Amanek hasn't gone for the cross shot. He just scopes for a peek, but we rarely see CTs take that fight anymore. You know, peek all the way down to T-spawn orbs. So glaive, his orb's on long, and it's in the right place. Flash through the smoke. Jax is on the chopping block, and glaive gets out with no problemo. niko dead as the smoke blooms on short. And again, another G2 round. Now they're even getting boxed in, and Dupree's coming in on the flank. The molly, oh, it pushes Hunter forward into the flames, and it's just going to be another Astralis round. Nothing that G2 can say or do about it. I love how much more confident we're seeing Astralis as well. More flanks. Dupree's now pushing top mid. There's nowhere safe. Cat molly over the top. Dupree is here ready to slip the knife in the back.
I don't understand how you can go from having such a good structure, such good decisions back on Nuke, to now looking like a shell of your former selves. Dupree's playing the trigger discipline. He wants the round, and he's got it on the plate. Dupree, baby! Oh, glaive stole it away. Doesn't matter. It's still 10 on the board for Astralis. It's still a triumphant return to form out of the Danes when it matters most. And as mentioned, that was the golden opportunity for G2 to break the money and get back into the game. Well, now, oh, wouldn't you know it, the shoes on the other foot, they are pretty much broke with the exception of Amanek. And so they're coming in with another like jumble sail by an AWP, a hero AWP surrounded by pistols. And once again, fast mid with the deagles in hand.
Yeah, they just went to the charity shop with a tenner, see what they could get. It was only one item. It's Bubsky now just shutting down the pistols in middle, and he's got two, almost a third. Nexa lives to tell the tale, and he needed to get into this B split. Oh, a mess for Dupree, but he still hits the shot, and this round is falling apart at the seams. Never stitched together. And now just Amanek alone at the B site with an AWP. An AWP he probably wants to save for round 15. But there's already a minute and 20 on the clock. Can't save forever. Here he comes into the Lion's Den. That's a nice start, but there's more where that came from at the car. And Amanek, by the time he gets to the point where he can clear this corner, they're already going to be close in middle. And he just needs no assistance to close out the round. 11-3, a double AWP secured for Astralis, and G2 just digging in the dirt.
And it's not hard to see why Astralis are feeling so confident, right? I still kind of get this feeling that, like, G2's money never stabilized past losing Amanek in those early few rounds, right? Where everything kind of went weird in terms of the money, where he dies after time. It's felt like weirdly out of sync at times. And now we actually have, like, a nice rifle round. You got everything you need, an AWP on Amanek, full utility. I want to see something a little more put together, a little slower out of G2, because thus far it's felt kind of uninspired. It's been a lot of these cat takes, pretty easy for gLaive to figure out that, oh, they're throwing the cat utility, they're coming catwalk.
Yeah. Also, mid to B anchors, or mid to B players have really not worked well. The anchors have always held this B bomb site. We've not gone into post plants here yet. And that's often bread and butter for many teams, right? You can't win the A site, you're losing to the AWP, the long control isn't there, your split timing's off. Well, let's just start hitting B. Let's just start going for late B splits. And by the time the bomb's down, Astralis is saving. G2 have not managed to do that either. And then you mentioned the money. Well, that gets alleviated if you're winning gun rounds. That's something G2 just can't do right now. 11-3, last of the half, another cat take, another B lurk for Hunter. Do they go back though? They've thrown the first volley of util and no one's committed behind it. But there's the second smoke, and now Jax begins to go.
Yeah, and now he will run through the molly, not perishing in it. Instead, he's secured the opener. More are flooding through. More G2 players trying to make their mark on this A bomb site. Bubsky, they are getting close. They are in your face, and niko's going to take it off. This AK roaring to life. Zip trying to do what he can, falls back to play retake. Hunter spotted on this wrap, but is still good for a kill. And finally, this late flank activation has netted some kind of worth. Zip dead after one, and Magisk left in the clutch. They don't know that he's so close, but Amanek just turns on a dime and lands the no-scope. It's not another 12-3 half. G2 do salvage a fourth, but is that going to be enough? Or is this series destined to go the distance after all?
Hey Future Pros, what's this? Dust 2? It's back? I don't believe it. Well anyway, here is a T-sided smoke for long corner. To do the smoke, go up next to this wall as shown. Find the left broken brick. Once done so, jump and throw the smoke. Now you can take long control without the fear of getting AWP down. Good luck!
heading into Dust 2, the big question was, could the Danes return to form? Well, hell, man, this whole tournament has tried to be a tale of the return of the Kings. Astralis, following through on their promises, do 11-4 that first half of play. G2 left on quite the back foot here. Not quite the enormous odds that Astralis are up against on that last map, but hell, it's damn close. A pistol round here would certainly help to even the playing field for G2. And already openers have come in, going their way.
Okay, that's one way to turn the scales. It's a couple of kills up top mid, and more where that came from. Astralis, they meet their makers, they meet their match in the form of USPs, and gla1ve, well, he has the A site. There's a long way to go to get that bomb. Back he goes to fight CT, but G2 are not in the giving mood. They missed that long timing, but Hunter seems aware, and he's already gone back to top middle. It's a nice idea for gla1ve, but the longer he is invisible, the more positions they consider. In fact, everyone's here. The nade is even ready. Almost a signal like, we know you're coming. But you can't turn around at this point. And there it is, 5 up, G2. All right, well, one man did once say that 11-4 is a dangerous score. I can't for the life of me remember who exactly said that, Harry.
I'll tell you who. There he is. There he is. That man right there. At the back of Astralis, Zonic once said it. Now, there's this idea, right, that like the more either like a meme or a saying or like an idea starts to flow through your head, the more it kind of gets willed into existence, right?
I'm not worried yet, though.
No, I'm not worried yet, but you know, I'm just bringing it up, just putting a pin in it for later. Whoop, there you go. We can bear that one in mind. Here we are, little force buy for Astralis. They've got deagles, they've got scouts, they've got everything they would need to steal a victory away. I mean, hell, we've seen them do it before. Amanek does get the info that players have made it up cat. I like how he approaches that, right? Just very, very quickly, leapfrogging about the place, hard to hit, and he gets out of the round with information to play on the back of. G2 are now poised and ready for this onslaught up through the catwalk.
Yes, so much util at least. That's a sigh of relief for Astralis. There are options open here. Waiting on Cat. And niko is going to meet them there, moving up as the smokes start to fade. And oh, this could get awkward. Is there a flash for him? Doesn't look like it. niko's just waiting. Oh, the smoke shot from gla1ve connects. That's out of nowhere. niko just drops off. He knows they'll hear the tag. That's a real shame. He could have had the round in the palm of his hand. Instead, Astralis might be faking out a mid to B, but it definitely is this A play. Bombs up on Cat. No smokes going out onto middle, although it looked likely. And all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. G2 have their numbers in the right place, and this fake won't cause any rotate.
Yeah, I mean, they're all so focused in. They're all so homed in. Amanek with this scout. This is a bit of a shooting gallery for this guy now. Flashing for the ramp peak. The flash is dodged by dupreeh, and that lets the deagle just absolutely shred through niko. Rotations being called for, a 4-on-4, nades going in, and they find a lot of damage onto these players still in this site. Important to note, Astralis have set up to play around this bomb, something that G2 didn't when they were in these situations. Is that going to be enough, though? The SMGs are churning through these players, and G2, it's a convincing retake, never giving Astralis the room to make anything of that bomb plant.
I guess scary when niko gets deagged, but I like the G2 don't panic and just start throwing bodies at the site. They wait for those rotates up CT. They wait for 4 guys to be ready to move in, and then everyone just starts collapsing on Astralis. Deags can be good, but when you're getting hounded down by, you know, fast-moving, running and shooting SMGs, there's not a lot you can do there. Nice try for Astralis, a bomb plant, some damage, but it's not going to force a buy here. They will still be eco as G2 get these conversions on the board. Right now, not having a problem in doing so. In that game yesterday where we saw Astralis taking on VP on this map, they were, again, I've talked about their troubles on T-sides. It was there for a moment, and then Astralis right near the end of the game where they couldn't get these A crosses off, where Jane was, you know, winning the A sides. We started to see those late B plays, those late executes, those mid to Bs I was talking about. I won, and they were super effective, by the way. They won almost every single B take in a lot of different ways. I wonder if, you know, we have a similar start and G2 start to pick up steam here, if Astralis is going to fall back into the same thing. That's something G2 could be cognizant of, as they definitely saw that game yesterday.
Yeah, you got like a partial investment here because of the bomb plant as well. So you've still got a chance to get away with something in this round. A 4-on-4 right out of the gate, and Amanek now trapped in at the car. Yeah, you don't have utility to burn him out, but he's only got a scout, mate. You just run at him with this MAC-10. Hunter flashed in, has reclaimed that man advantage, so we're back into a 3-on-3. And Astralis, this is where they're going to pump the brakes a bit, right? Yeah. This is already a very good spot to be in, considering what you bought into this round, the fact that you still have an investment coming in next. Even if you just get away with damage here, that is invaluable in and of itself. Look at Glaive go. Oh, it's a big lurk out of Glaive. Oh, he's seen a player in CT. He knows all about it. He's got the B bomb site. Astralis, what do they want to do with this? What do they want to do with the information and positioning that Glaive has gained? Are they going to go back?
Oh, no.
They could run into niko. Oh, my word. This could end the round right now. That's the bomb. He needs the follow-up, and he will get it. Glaive might have all of B, but with no bomb, it's a picnic and no sandwiches for Astralis. Just one guy left. And so far away from winning the round. Now he's been spotted. G2, they recover that one so nicely.
What a push from niko. I mean, it seemed like, to me, from when Glaive walked into B and he cleared it and he saw Jackson spawn, it seemed like Glaive was going to backstab. He was going to tell his team to wait on long. And then, you know, G2 might have panicked and rotated B when they lose it to Glaive. They think everyone's there. But no, Astralis, they don't want to recommit. I understand the hesitancy, but it's such a long rotation, so much map in the way of long and that B bomb site, that niko is there to put up the barrier. 11-7. G2 starting to believe in the comeback, but here is the gun round. Here's what we've been waiting for. Astralis bringing the big weapons. They've got the orb with no armor. Amanek's got his in middle, and they're going to meet him right there. Is there a flash? No. Quick shot for Amanek, and out he goes. Now many more shots to be had. They've got to smoke him off. They don't want to give this AWP any more chances. There could be some boostery going on here for G2.
Oh, you know there is a bit of tomfoolery with niko down here in CT. He find anything up on the boost. The bomb is over here in tunnel, running in towards the B side. Jax is solely responsible for B, and in with the double. Magisk trades it out, sure, but now that they spot the player down here in mid, they've cancelled it out to the 3-on-1. Just Magisk left up against the grain in the hot seat, and it is a hot seat indeed for this guy. Got the bomb down, but no time to get set up. He's fighting till his last breath. The hopes of Astralis in this round on the shoulders of one man. Is he going to take the fight to G2? He's waiting in the window. He might try and go for the swing, and there's the first, but Nexa will dodge any danger of that clutch getting out of hand, puts a stop to Magisk, and so G2 are up onto 8. What was once, you know, a huge 7-round gap between these two teams is now down to just 3 rounds. And this is where Astralis fans and Astralis players might start to feel the pressure once again.
Yeah, you're gritting your teeth in that clutch, right? Very nice try for Magisk, but this feels a little bit on the edge, Harry. A seesaw, perhaps. And G2 currently sky high. 8 rounds. They've doubled up in the second half already, and there's more to be had. Fast out long for Astralis, try to kick the pace up a notch once again. They're good at getting these entries. Nex is here. He's trying to throw his life into the fray, jumping. Now, did they hear that? There were so many flashbangs going on. No one saw him. And so Astralis might not have this info. Dupree's going to go clear it, though. Proper clear. And he takes the kill. Glaive has fought out niko out of middle in the meantime. And so a 5-on-3 is a perfect position to be in for Astralis. Just got to play your cards right here. For all they know, bubzkji could walk into the MTB site right now. G2 are gambling, and Astralis have made the perfect rotate.
Yeah, and if they go B, they win the round. Oh, but I say that, and look at G2. Hang on a moment. G2 are trying to get ahead of the curve as well. They're going towards B. Oh, my word. Oh my word, this is all hinging on a series of little gambles that both teams are equally guilty in participating in. Astralis leaning towards B, determined that this side of the map might be clear. Now they deal with Jax over in middle. Will that really make them double down on this B commitment? G2, they've got Amanek's AWP up in the window. Hunter nearby. Amanek deals with the first. 35 seconds and the bomb is going back through lower tunnels and into mid. Amanek is dead on the cross. Hunter blindsided from A, and the round does come together eventually for Astralis. It hangs in the balance for a moment with both squads just moving around the map in the dark, essentially. But Astralis do manage to see it through. Yeah. It's that early 5-on-3 that really helps get it over the line.
Yeah, a lot of the fear now alleviated, right? They definitely heard Nexa jump up there on that corner as dupreeh was so convinced about the check. And, you know, with G2, yeah, they find 4 rounds in a row, but they don't keep them clean. And so look at the result that's had. USPs in this round as they hope to buy up next. Astralis, just a couple of steps closer to Inferno. Fast out long for Zip. And a couple of entries behind it as well. There's everyone here though. Next, oh, he stalls the shot. He's got a gun now, and niko's dropped another. Now, this is not lost yet for Astralis. They can get the bomb, they can take B, but you've armed your opposition. You've got to watch out.
Yeah, I mean, this is a round that G2 are going to be willing to look into and at least consider, right? Oh, Nexa, yeah, if he gets that kill, you're really spurred on. With that not coming through, you're still interested in giving it a little look in. But if you don't like what you see, you can always pull the brakes and back on out. niko with this CZ, is he ready for the peek up on top of the boxes? niko won't commit to tunnels and instead rejoins his teammates in middle. What's gla1ve going to do with this info? He could come in on a mid-wrap. He could try and flank these players, or he could just play around the bomb if he wants to be safe. gla1ve's a safe pair of hands. Magisk up in the window again. They try to rush through the doors, and gla1ve lines him up, knocks him down. And Astralis, they claim another life, 13 on the board. They are stumbling back to their feet and once more widening these margins.
Yeah, that had to happen, right? Like, okay, it gets a bit dicey when you lose a couple of guns that long, but you can't afford to throw the round to USPs there and give G2 their second wind in this map. Still winnable for G2, but it's got to start here and now. There's no funny business left. AWP for Amanek. No room for error. We're getting a lot more out of Astralis. Begs the question what Inferno has in store if we make it that far. Hunter, careful. They're fast through the midst through the door, and he still gets a kill blinded. Could have had more if the flash wasn't so perfect. Astralis aren't going to commit with the mid to B, though. Magisk will stay. Everyone else goes back and groups up in the tunnels. It's up to Jax on his own. He's been good. He's been stellar holding down this B bomb site, but he's scared of the middle, and he has no need to be. The majority still back in the tunnels. niko's dropped bubzkji from spawn, and G2's aggression is unparalleled right now. Astralis are completely caught in the open. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And this bomb's now been lost in the tunnels. Magisk spotted. Another impossible clutch for him to convert.
Yeah, how on earth do you go about approaching this, right? The bomb in enemy territory now, and it's in like the most ratty enemy territory you can think of. Having to try and recover that from the tunnels. There's so many little angles. There's so many little pillars that players can hide behind. He's going to be hard-pressed to find anything, but he's still giving it a go. That's the Magisk way. Taking a peek. It's the second player that you got to worry about and is never even needed. Jax domes him. G2, they keep it alive for the time being, and they've at least got a lot more room to work with than Astralis did back on Nuke when they attempted this recovery.
Yeah, I've got to say, Jax has been doing really good work on this B-bomb, so that's double kills both times Astralis have come there in the last few rounds. Hunter makes the most of a messy situation, and the fact that Jax is getting doubles on all of these B holds might send Astralis back to these quick A takes, the quick longs, the cat split, you know, Zip late lurking long with their 4-man cat, the things that Astralis love to do on this map. We'll see, it's fast again, but they get stuck in the door. Everyone's blind, including niko missing his Molotov, and Astralis go, you know what? We want nothing to do with this. They forced a bunch of grenades out of G2, and so they leave long laughing and recommit elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, talk about putting the fear in them, right? Like, you just saw the onslaught of utility wasted over at long, just in the fear of stemming another one of these fast long plays. Well, now Astralis have got Cat. There's this double hold in the A bomb site. It's almost like a bait and switch. Yeah, it's going to get disassembled. not something you see all too prevalently. That position frequently gets Molotov, so it could get out of hand. They will leave niko there alone and send Amanek towards long. Still anxious about these long doors. That's not where you want to be worried about right now if you're G2.
If Astralis get this cat to A and they plant, they're going to win the round, man. There's no nades left for a retake. This is a necessity in what will be, 4-on-4 retake likely here for G2. That's if it happens, but back into the mid to B. dupree's drop spawn. Jax, he does have support this time. Hunter's in the bomb site. He's going to get flashed for a fight, but the flash doesn't work. Hunter doesn't care, and he mows down a double. There's Jax swinging in and regaining the mid control. And again, B looks to be the bread and butter for G2. Astralis can't catch a break, but they have caught the bomb. A quick plant allowed by Bubsky, and maybe there's still a chance.
Yeah, this is where dupree's CT drop becomes super valuable. At the very, very least, he's wasting a lot of time on this third player in niko, having to rotate. There is a temporary 2v1 for Nexa and Amanek inside of B, and dupree, the timing just doesn't go his way. Bubsky's got to do it now. Oh, almost a spray transfer, but Amanek's going to stand tall, rising above the spray, denying the clutch, and G2 salvage that round up onto 10. It's another one of these B holds. 3 kills out of the players responsible for that B site, and these are the results you need if you want to weather the storm against Astralis here.
Yeah, definitely not over before the, before the fat lady sings right now. Astralis going to be getting a little bit scared. niko, massive brain. The timing god's doing well, but he stalls that peak so long. dupree's like double checking A, and he's so sure that no one's coming this late from that position. Look at how annoyed dupree's getting. I would be the same. What a timing for niko to peek him there and spawn and set that retake on. Because if dupree kills niko, man, that's maybe their round. Bubsky almost converted the spray. And instead, Astralis are just hanging on by a thread. Still with enough lead to feel safe for now. But 1 or 2 gun rounds and suddenly G2 are right back in your face, kicking and screaming. If G2 can pull the 11-4 comeback in the second map, damn. That would be one way to reach the grand final. Astralis still look convinced that B is the answer. They're not, committed yet, but lots of players heading to that side of the map early. Jax and Hunter have been great, but gla1ve, that's one hell of a way to start the round, taking down niko on Catwalk, and now the B players, while they're still in position, Astralis, they've got a 5-on-4.
Yeah, it also means Astralis don't even have to commit to this B play anymore, right? You can kind of give gla1ve a bit of room, and you can say to the guy, look, man, see what you can get away with, see what kind of information you're able to find, what kind of space you're able to create. And in the end, it is going to come back into this B bomb site. Hunter, locked out by the smokes, is solely responsible for teeing up his team for this retake, and it's nothing more than a bit of chip damage. G2 a 3-on-3 retaking at this B site. It feels fitting that this is where such an important round in this game will be decided. If G2 attempt this and lose out, they've got nothing. That could be Astralis running away with the map after all. They lose Nexa in the tunnels, and that has sealed their fate. That has sealed the deal of this save call. G2 are out of there, and Astralis are up onto 14 with a broken G2 economy to go up against.
You've got to give it to Astralis. The determination to continue to go back to this B bomb site despite the amount of rounds that G2 are winning, just anchoring it down with Hunter and Jax. Astralis are not deterred at all, and they get it done. Helps that gla1ve finds that opener in middle for sure. But even then, he dies in mid, goes into a 4-on-4, and Astralis still crunched their way into B. 1 kill for Jax was not enough, but he was flashed out behind the boxes. And now you're believing again if you're Astralis. Okay, it's not been a clean game. It's not been a quick win after your 11-4 half, but you are 1 step closer and 2 steps from Inferno. And as said, Harry, those saves, a necessity for G2. It's really all they'll have in this round. niko's on a deagle, double MP9, and desperate times here for G2. This, if anything, feels like 15-10 because next round's buy is going to be even worse.
Yeah, you're really hinging on this working for you if you're G2, this little cobbled together investment around the save guns. And if it doesn't, well, then maybe that third map is left waiting in the wings after all. We didn't think we were going to get there with the start to the day we had out of G2. But Astralis, They are so resilient at times like this.
We've had some position changes. Amanek is AWPing B. He's pushed the tunnels. Hunter instead backing Goose on the A site, using that rifle in the most safe way he can, trying to play for the round win. Astralis, they're up catwalk, they're outside long. This does look like a pretty standard A split right now. But they still have time to take and Molotovs to use, clearing corners, making sure that G2 are not getting aggressive. Nexa does not really have the weapon for this engagement. Does he tuck in to the pit and hope they cross past him? It's unlikely. Smokes and flashes starting to rain in. 30 seconds, and here come Astralis.
Yeah, the fact they flashed it, now Nexa knows they're coming. He holds off and waits for a flash from niko. That's a nice little way to play this together. And now they've dropped the bomb. This long split into the A-bomb site is suddenly down to one man. Magisk was boosted and never given a chance at a kill. And Dupree's had to come back in with the bomb. It's cut loose, and the round is stolen away by G2. Brilliant. Brilliant gameplay out of the squad there, right? Amanek dropping the bomb, doubling up. Glorious stuff out of the hero AWP. But really, that long haul was the thing I think it's worth focusing on. That is the round-winning moment there. It's that flash that signals Nexa. Yeah, they're about to hit. If he was having a peek that to get the information and they see him and they know about him, I think that round plays out very, very different. Instead, he gets the early warning signal, tucks in pit, calls for niko's flash, and they peek it together.
Yeah, now it's a half by Astralis is saving a bit of money. That's going to give G2 a nice freebie here, and they're starting to unleash hell. niko pushed up on catwalk, not deterred by the fact that Glaive took him down last time he did it. He won't be there forever, though. Mollies and nades eventually placed, and now Astralis going to run at niko. The spray off the AK gets one, and Nex is there to help out, seal the deal for G2. Clean round with 4 alive, and AKs on 3. All right, G2. That's another one on the tally, 12-14. Maybe some OT cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're getting our attention, right? You cannot lie. A part of you finds yourself looking at G2 now and going, maybe they can do this. Maybe they can pull it back from the 4-11 half after all. Yeah, Astralis know better than most. They're not out of the woods yet.
And they've just used their last timeout, that being Astralis. So if we do get into those bonus rounds, or even here in the last 3 or 4, there's not going to be any more time to chat. There's not going to be any more reset time here. You are in the game until the bitter end. Win or loss, final or elimination. Here at IEM Cologne. My goodness. No AWP this time for Astralis. They're just back to rifles. Had the money for it, not interested. Yes. niko's looking very confident as well. He's throwing himself into the first fight in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, and he had a really quiet start to this game, right? It was really only Hunter that we were looking at. niko's had one hell of a recovery, and as have the rest of G2. Jax has been instrumental at this B bomb site. And Amanek is getting more and more comfortable at taking liberties with this AWP now that he's on the CT side.
It's another B play, but Magisk is out long, and this is so much free real estate. He's going to try and fake this out. He's actually cool for his team to come back. Look at the space I've got. Dupree's seen a barrel, and he's got the AWP locked up on catwalk. He can't get the kill, though, and niko swerves back in to save him. Now, okay, yes, Magisk has long, but G2 have numbers on A. 4 guys here. It may look like 1 dot on the minimap. That's because they're all on top of each other. CT, catwalk, you name it, they got it. And Astralis, if they try and recommit on the long A and help out Magisk, they're walking into the trap.
Also, I am so convinced that the way they play short there is by design. The AWP scoped up top mid so that the barrel could be spotted from lower and get the attention of that player. Then they discount niko, who's a little further up towards the short side.
You think that was all a bait, Harry? You think that was all purpose?
Like I don't think it was like with this intention of, yeah, it's definitely going to happen that way. But it's like, look, if you're scoped top mid and they see the barrel, they're looking at you. They're not looking at me.
Yeah, niko was very ready to clear that either way, whether it was planned or not. He knew what he was doing. And now 30 seconds in a 5-on-4, Astralis are called to this A site.
Yeah, I mean, it's all they're left with. It's all they've got, right? They abandoned the hopes of a B play early on, so it's back into this A site. Amanek's AWP, here it is, looking towards short. First man gets out, and Bubsky will find the kill. Something needs to happen for G2, because in the blink of an eye, all 4 kills have come in for Astralis. It went from a huge stack in at this A bomb site to just death in an instant.
What happened? Aminek had to hit that shot, man. He had to take one because, you know, with every shot you miss with the orb, Astralis are getting 10 feet further, 10 feet closer. And even G2 hiding in the ramp smoke, hiding in the bomb site, in sync kills. Astralis just activate. And that's one hell of a round to activate in. Man down from the get-go, walking into the stacked site. And Jax is left longing for action in this round. I don't know how Astralis have done it, but they found 15, Harry. They've locked in the guarantee of overtime at the very least, if not that third map of Inferno.
I mean, you can see over in the fan cams, everyone's pretty hyped about this little display, right? This is more the semi-final series we wanted, right? This was the one we built it to be. Astralis on the road to recovery, now just 5 kills away from cementing that Inferno appearance and having a shot still at reaching these grand finals. G2, has that Dust 2 curse come back to haunt them? Cross players over to mid unscathed, and they do get that B-hold established on Jax. This time, we're seeing a bit more of an active stance from Aminek in AWPing at these mid doors.
I like how he doesn't shoot on the flash as well. He really wants to conserve the fact that he's got this sniper here. He doesn't want to give Astralis the info, begging they commit, but up cat they go, and these A splits again seems to be the game plan. Bubsky's faking B, keeping Jax pretty committed to the tunnels right now. Aminek going wide, but any further will favor gla1ve on this angle, and so Aminek will dodge death for now. Zip late lurking long has been spotted. Nexon knows he's coming eventually. And this makes it very clear that this is the cat play. G2 know what's going on, but Astralis can hit their shots. We've already seen that in the last round. The molly does nothing to niko. gla1ve scopes up and hopes to get cover on this cross, but the CTs are getting flashed off. niko's been cleared. Nexa at long now needs to get involved. Nades are coming up from CT, but Astralis are not losing numbers. They are taking their time. They are not pressured. Another man at Goose to clear, and that has to be the trick up the sleeve for G2. Aminek, he does get one, stalling this refrag. The smoke fading it short, and he's shot right through it. There's a gap for Zip. dupreeh follows up, and it might be the beginning of the end for G2.
Yeah, Aminek and Jax, the 2 players left up in this retake. I say retake, the bomb isn't down yet for Astralis. Oh, missed shot, and they wait to collect that free kill in CT. Now getting the bomb down with time still aplenty. A 4-on-1, and just Jax left to beat. As good as he's been in this series, you're not anchoring B anymore. Instead, he's left up, having a retake, a lost site, getting wrapped through middle, and there's Bubsky sealing the deal of an Inferno 3rd map decider. We're going the distance after all.